Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling, as you see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today, where we'll be relaxing as per usual. We'll have a stream later tonight, which will be interesting. Later tonight is like later this afternoon, I suppose, which will be interesting because, you know, I haven't done a stream for like 2 weeks or something. Sorry. Yawn. Stretch. With anyone participating in Art Fight, see about that Art Fight theme this year is, was it Stardust versus Scene Foam, which is a pretty cool one. I'm not gonna lie. Hello everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 12:17 PM on Sunday, June 16th, 2024. Definitely not one I think of as being like oppositions to each other, because you know how there's like salt, pepper, you know, I'm trying to think of previous ones, sugar, spice, vampire, werewolves, etc., things which are much more commonly pitted against each other in, I suppose, popular media. Seafoam and Stardust, I think, as themselves, don't really like appear, but I think it's a very creative one, to be honest. One much more sort of abstract in concept. Well, not necessarily abstract in concept, much more sort of like what's a word? I don't know. Abstract is not the right word, but it's the only word I can think of. But much more abstract compared to the last year's one, which was vampires and werewolves, which is very sort of concrete in what they represent, I suppose. Anyway, I'll be participating under Stardust, but yeah, that'll be happening soon. What's been going on? I played a lot of Siege yesterday, I suppose. We had an ARAM clash. Actually, I don't know. Is ARAM clash also on today? I did not check this, because it might be. But played at ARAM Clash, didn't go so well. We went not free, unfortunately, but someone has to, so you know, it happens. Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say about that. I don't think I was really going to say anything about that. I mean, I guess I hadn't really played League for a very long time, but it was a fun time nonetheless. Talking a lot about Tamagotchis for some unfathomable reason, and yeah, played a lot of Siege. Had its ups, had its downs. Whoa, League of Legends, you are way too loud. I'm sorry about that. I was opening up League because I wanted to see if ARAM Cup is still on today. It looks like it is, because I have been invited to a team. What's going on? Yes, so I will join this team. I had to purchase a ticket. Okay. Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say about that. I wasn't really going to say anything else about that, so I guess we'll go back to the holiday conversations now. So we talked about the Acropolis yesterday. What did I do afterwards? We went to the Acropolis Museum. There's not really much to say about it. I guess it was, you know, kind of cool, all things considered, informative. I try to think about anything I really learned, but we didn't spend like a huge time, I suppose, deeply examining all of the exhibits. Mostly, at least on my perspective, I just spent the time sort of appreciating the beauty of the artwork, if anything. And I guess my friends learned about the word pediment, and I guess technically I kind of did as well. Because I'm not sure where I heard this. I can't remember what word or what information this happened on the holiday. But you know, one of my friends asked us like, "What is a pediment?" And I was like, "I think it's a like triangular." I'm not sure how I described it, but it's like that space between the roof and the top of a bar, which is kind of like a triangle. That's what it is, by the way. And I was just like, I don't know necessarily how I know it. I guess I must have read that at some point, and it just sort of like stuck in my memory. That happened at some other point of this holiday where I can't remember what it was, but I was like, I have no idea how I know this knowledge, but I just know it somehow. It was. I have a feeling it was about a media property that I've never seen or participated with, but I somehow knew like one of the characters from it or something. I don't recall what it was. Yes, I'm looking at my photos now to see what I remember. I mean, it's a very cool museum. I find museums quite fun, I suppose, and especially artistic museums, because then you can appreciate the work which goes into these sort of things, where I'm just like, whoa, how does someone do this, you know? It's incredible. This is sort of like, you know, art history, so I suppose it's a mix of both the impressiveness of the art which lays behind them and the history of the manager, how things have managed to preserve throughout it all. But Greek mythology is not something I really know a lot about, so there's a lot of stories I suppose I didn't know. I can't remember what was the one, but it was like one which is depicted a lot within the things from the Acropolis. There's like this war against centaurs, and I don't even remember. It was centaurs and something or other. Yes, I'm ready to go home. Champion capsule, open this up. Melio apparently, who I've already got as a champion. Disenchant this because there is a blue essence emporium. Okay, I can close this. I've done what I need to do, which was to join the team. So turns out that is going on. I was meant to check what time it starts. I think it's at 6:45 again, but I should definitely double check that. I mean, technically it's any time after 6:45, so it's not really that big a deal. Anyway, yeah. So we went to a museum, and after that, what do? We had some food at a place. I can't remember exactly what it's called. It's something like alocati, something like that. I don't know. It was basically one I found which was recommended. I can't remember if it was recommended off like a site or Google Maps or something, but it was very much recommended, and I was like, cool. I don't know what's going on here, but and I was like, cool. We'll check it out. And then when this was ages ago when we were like making itineraries, I basically made like a few. Not made. I put like a few like food places that we could go to nearby to the places that we were going to see like what we could check out. This is one. It's something like To Atikalo. No, Kato Kati Alo. Let's see, Athens Kati Alo. It's something like To Kati Alo. That's it. And self-described as the person there as good food, bad service or something. Self-described by the actual owner. Honestly, food pretty decent, pretty good. My friends, what did I have? My friends had like chicken, and one of them had a stuffed chicken, and another one had lamb, and I had pork. And honestly, the pork was pretty good. Probably the best meal I think I had in Athens. No, I don't know. The gyros was pretty good. Maybe the gyros was better, but I was also pretty hungry when we had the gyros. So we had food there, and then we stopped by McDonald's to pick up some ice cream. You might be like, why at McDonald's? I don't really know. I think it's just because we saw one or something on the map. I genuinely don't remember, but for some reason we stopped at McDonald's. I don't even think I had ice cream at the end. What I do remember is that we walked in, and then we're like looking through. But by the way, Greek McDonald's. You might be like, why are you going to McDonald's in another country? Well, you know, it would not be my number one choice, I suppose, for a food place to go to these fast food restaurants in other countries. But I do appreciate the fact that it's fun to see basically what they have on their menus, and you get to have something which is both familiar and different. And my friends like to do it, so you know what, I'm not going to be like, and I don't really care much about. I'm not like that much of a foodie, so you know, it's not that like important to me that I eat the best meal every time necessarily, and I think it's fun as well because I like to order random stuff from menus and see what there is. So I mean, we did that in Spain. We ordered some random stuff, and it was like, "Whoa, we have loaded fries." Or we went to, I think, Burger King, and it was like, "What is this Dorito burger?" which I ordered, and it was really weird. But I think you know, the fun memory is still associated with it. I'm not going to try and sort of tie in some sort of snobbery with cuisine to be like, "Oh, you know, you should only eat local food when you go to a place." For some people, that's true. For some people, it's not. And you know, your mileage may vary. Anyway, long story short, we went to McDonald's, and Greek McDonald's does not have like basically anything different. I think the only thing which was particularly different were those two things. One of them being the fact that potato wedges, or thick cut, I suppose, potato chips if you're American, were an option as opposed to the skinny fries which exist. Not potato chips, sorry, if you're American, potato fry, just fries, I guess, when it, potato chip is what you call crisps. Anyway, sorry, yes. There was not, I can't remember anything on the menu that was actually also different, mind you. It was a weird case, not a weird case, but a much rarer case, I suppose, of checking out another country's fast food choices and seeing that, oh, you know, basically everything they have, we have already. So it's sort of like, oh, it's a bit anticlimactic, I suppose, in that sense. But the strangest thing was, I went to like the promotions or whatever, like a special like new food items to eat or whatever, and I clicked on it and I was like, why is there just a plushie of a squirrel as one of the options? The answer to that, by the way, is because they had this sort of like charity thing going on where you could buy a plushie of a squirrel. It cost €10, by the way, which is pretty expensive. But basically that cost will go to charity. It went to, I don't even know what the charity necessarily was. It was like a Greek charity or some kind. I cannot remember off the top of my head. I guess I took a picture of it. I must have. Well, I took a picture of the advert, but it doesn't actually say what. Oh, RMHC, is that right? RMHC Athens. Ronald McDonald House Charity Greece. So the McDonald's charity, is it a good charity or not? I don't necessarily know, but I was just so curious about this random squirrel plushie, which was an option. And you know me, I love plushies, so of course I bought it. And you know, €10 is a lot to randomly be spending at McDonald's. That's like more expensive than like an actual meal, to be honest. But I bought it anyway, and I forgot to do that. I need to remind myself to do that. I need to ask for money from my friends for how much I spent. I don't need to ask for too much, but we'll do that in a bit. I'll keep it open on my phone app of Revolut, so I'll remember to do so. Anyway, yeah, so I bought one. I called him Ketchup. Yeah, he's sitting currently here on my desk behind my drawing tablet, along with Baron Asher, mainly because I'm kind of like running out of space on my desk for things. There's also another thing I was thinking last night as well, which I also forgot until just now. Where's my chapstick gone? I felt like it fell on the ground underneath my drawers, but I don't actually know for certain. Because I was going to use it last night, and I was like, where is it? I didn't bring it on holiday, mind you, either. Oh, I can see it. It's up. It's behind my chest of drawers. So I'm going to have to like reach over weirdly for it. And you might be like, is this something to be doing in the middle of an Animal Crossing episode? No, not really, but I'm doing it now because I will forget. Possibly, otherwise, later. Oh, there it is. It's not even behind the chest of drawers and underneath it like I thought. It's actually just way further behind the radiator. Okay, there we go. I think it must have fell down there just before the holiday or something. Because I would have brought it otherwise. But nonetheless, here we go. Which one are you using? It's a Nivea one. It's a summery sort of watermelon one. So it has no sort of like scent to it. I just sort of bought it randomly on a whim. Because I was like, I should buy some chapstick for my chap lips. Sorry, that's like a dropout reference. Okay, move my chest of drawers back. Sorry, distracted. So yes, I bought a squirrel plushie from McDonald's. You might be like, was it part of a Happy Meal or something? No, it wasn't. For one, what Happy Meal was €10. That's crazy expensive. But yeah, I don't know. I bought it and I was just like, well, this is just strange. But I guess that's my plushie from Greece. What was the national animal of Greece? Normally what I try to do is I try to buy a plushie of a national animal, but I didn't really see many good plushies out there, to be honest. It was a dolphin, that was right. And I have a dolphin plushie actually, given to me by a friend. So, yeah, what I was going to say is the fact that it was actually even better because after going to the Acropolis Museum and like looking at the souvenir shop, and I was kind of just like, oh, you know, I want to buy some souvenirs, you know. And normally what I try to buy is I try to buy a plushie. And a lot of the time these places do have some uninteresting plushies. There'll be like a teddy bear or something, which vaguely is related. But some of them are kind of like interesting at the same time. Like I went to, I can't remember what gallery we went to necessarily in London, and they had like a lion. No, it was in Spain, but I went to something and they had like a lion plushie with like a little crown on his head. And I was like, that's awesome. I'm going to buy that as my plushie sort of souvenir. And this one, the Acropolis, it felt so easy because they had an owl mascot, essentially. Like, owl, a symbol of Athena, and the Temple of Athena being a part of the Acropolis, I suppose. Temple of Nike Athena, or whatever it's called. It feels so obvious to be like, hey, let's just have an owl plushie to represent Athena as like a plushie thing. But their plushie of choice was a teddy bear with literally like a white t-shirt on with like red text saying like Acropolis in Greek or something. And I was just like, this is like, I hate to say Acropolis Museum, this is a really boring souvenir plushie. And what sucked even more is the plushie was so soft. It was actually like, it was so like squishy and soft. You belong here. You belong with me. But it was like so soft and squishy. I was just like, this is such like a fun like teddy bear to cuddle. But I'm like, it just has no relation, no bearing whatsoever to where I actually bought it from. So I didn't actually buy it. I was really, really tempted. I was just like, I was losing my mind because I was like, obviously they didn't do it because I assume plushies don't actually sell that well from these museums of that sort of thing. But I'm just like, the thematic flavouring, like thinking from like a product creation standpoint, like it makes so much sense. Just create an owl. You know? You have an owl, you have a symbolism right there. You have the historical link to it all. But alas, it was not to be. It's just a teddy bear with a white top and a red a white top and red text on, and it was so disappointing. Well, I found it like kind of disappointing, at least. Did I put this thing here before? I feel like what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move you along, and then put you here. Maybe Sunday we'll get the rest of these insect models to really sort of like liven up this vivarium. But I kind of want to put it there just so like the weeds won't get stay in the wade. Kind of shocks me at how many of these fishies and bugs models I actually got at some point. Anyway, nonetheless, yeah. So instead I got the squirrel. How soft is the squirrel? The squirrel's pretty soft. It was like vacuum pack sealed, I suppose, when they gave it to us. And they found it very, I suppose, amusing. This little squirrel. It's kind of soft. It's not, I wouldn't say, sorry Ketchup, you're not like some sort of standout amazing soft, squishy plushie that I've ever seen. But you are soft. You're very cuddleable. I was just like so confused. You cannot imagine my confusion when I was clicking on what's new, like special items or something, to be like, oh, you know, what random Greek food is in Greek McDonald's to, you know, try. You know, are we going to have like spicy chicken nuggets? Maybe we're going to have something like gyros related where they put chips in a burger or something. I don't know. It would be very cool to see. But then it was just like, oh, it's a squirrel. And I was like, is this an edible thing? And there's no way it's plushie. I was like, it's €10 as well. Anyway, bought it. So yeah, Athens had that food and had a Ketchup Squirrel, I suppose, is what I'm going to title. Ketchup for Squirrel is what I'm going to title today's episode, I suppose. And yeah, what else to say about Ketchup the Squirrel? I wonder if it actually exists. Ketchup the Squirrel. There's a squirrel eating ketchup outside my window right now. You must be pumped. Congratulations. Keto Hungry Squirrel Ketchup. Oh, it's a brand. Random. So yeah, Ketchup's there. My friend calls him Big Mac instead of Ketchup, which is fair enough. The whole lore being about their actual name is Ketchup, so like, you know, the family knows him as Ketchup, but then he always goes around introducing himself as Big Mac. Even though everyone knows that Big Mac doesn't really make sense as a nickname for him, because he's not that big. It's sort of like a bravado statement, you know, where it'd be like, oh, I want to be seen as cool. What's a cool name? Big Mac. Call me Big Mac. Yeah. And he's like, you know, trying a bit too hard to get that nickname to catch on. Is that sort of vibe we were trying to get? So I call him Ketchup. His friends call him Big Mac. That's just how it goes. Lore for this random McDonald's squirrel from Athens. Anyway, I'm going to round this episode off here. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons and I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, share. It's greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope we see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.